The Salopian Mixtape with Michaela Wilde and Simon Berry, bringing you Shropshire's best new music.
Hello and welcome to the Salopian Mixtape. I am Simon Berry, and with me as ever is Michaela Wilde.
Hello, I am indeed. Although we are in different locations, we've had a week where we decided to do this remotely because, you know, why not? We're testing out our technology things. It's lovely to be back. We had such a good week last week talking all things LOOPFEST. Oh, if you haven't heard this episode yet, Simon Berry, you had a great time at LOOPFEST, didn't you?
I did a bit. It was really, really nice. It was so nice to meet so many people and also get to know some new bands as well that were playing that I'd not really been, they've not got music out yet. So it was good to get there on the ground floor. So if you're into new music, make sure you check out LOOPFEST next year because it is a massive weekend of wonderful music by all sorts of people. And yeah, there's a couple of bands which I really enjoyed who don't actually have music out at the moment. Mira Moore and Boom Boom Woom. They are two, and I've made sure that I almost went backhanding, going, you haven't uploaded, but they haven't actually got music to record that they've recorded just yet. So give them a chance to get in the studio, Simon. yeah, I know. We're getting a little bit excited, but I made sure that they are going to go to thesalopianmixtape.com when they do to upload music to us because we want to share it with you. Absolutely.
And one of the things that we did do last week was we launched our brand new feature, our local release of the series. And this is going to be every series. We are going to bring you a release. It could be an album or an EP. It might be on CD, cassette, vinyl, whatever form it's being released in. We're going to champion it at local music shops, music stores in Shropshire, and we're going to bring you a track from that album every single week and give you a chance to find out a little bit more about the artists behind it. And for this first launch series of this feature, we are getting behind the wonderful Adele and Andy with their fabulous album Angels and Demons, which now sits proudly into Shropshire's record stores, doesn't it, Simon?
Exactly, yeah, because their album Angels and Demons is one that we've just absolutely loved from the beginning, and to be able to hold it in your hand is amazing. I held it in my hand as I delivered it off into Wellington at Spinning Around Records. Emma, that was absolutely brilliant. And yeah, you will be able to see when you go in there a little board on the desk on the counter that you can see Adele and Andy's album there. And the other thing, I should give a shout out to Emma as well at Spinning Around Records. She's got a whole shelf of local releases, so she's got multiple different stuff on the wall from local artists, which is super cool. But then I also went to Bridgnorth to spin Tubeway Records 2 and spoke to Alex there, and yeah, lovely fella. And he has also got our local release of the series sitting proudly in the window on the counter there as well. So it's a wonderful thing, and it's just the kind of thing that we want to do to support local music and the music industry in Shropshire.
Absolutely. And if you want to be considered to be a release of the series, local release of the series for the next series, you need to send out your music to us at thesalopianmixtape.com. And well, if we like it and you've got something coming out, then it might be that we'll feature your music for next series. But I think it's time to get into some music from that album. It's Angels and Demons, and we played the title track from it last week, which was very good. It was really moody. It was quite sad, gorgeous vocals. This tune is track 5 from the album, and it's a completely different feel, isn't it?
It really is. So this is then our local release of the series from Adele and Andy, the album Angels and Demons, and this song is That Look in Your Eye.
Where was the album recorded and what was the experience like? So we've always used Scott Rolfe. Scott's a good mate of ours. He kind of understands us as individuals, really, and understands, when you go in the studio, don't you? And it's a bit of a struggle at times to kind of cope with the pressure that builds in terms of recording a track. But Scott kind of knows. He knows what we like. He has ideas of his own. Sometimes he has ideas that we don't like. Sometimes he has ideas that kind of blow us away. But thoroughly enjoyable. One of my favourite bits really is to start with something that's a bit of a demo track that all of a sudden emerges into something that we actually didn't really expect.
Okay, so all in all, I would say it took about 6 months of writing with the album. Andy took the lead with majority of the songs. I tend to start songs and not be able to finish them, so that's where Andy comes in, and he has to add his twinkly bits and he'll give me the song, and now I have to spruce them up a bit and sometimes change them around. And all in all, it was a very collective collaboration of ideas and lyrics and chords and tunes, and it all got mashed together really nice.
To the local bar to drink your blues away. Couldn't have guessed how things would turn out that day. Life was looking up as your glass went down. When that girl from the bar, she turned around. I poured you a drink. My story, my life was a mess. He wanted to save me from all the distress. He picked me up, I let my head down. I'm just that girl from the bar, he turned my life around. I poured you a drink. Drove me wild with that look in your eye. That look in your eye. Five years later, we remember that day. In an old rundown bar, we drank the drove me wild.
So that was the second track that we've brought you from our local release of the series. It's actually track 5 on their album, Adele and Andy, That Look in Your Eye, finding out a little bit more about them. And throughout this series, you will hear even more from them as a duo, and you will hear more music from that album. And of course, if you want to get hold of it, then you can go to Spinning Around Records in Wellington, and you can go to Tubeway 2 in Bridgnorth, and you can find that album there, and you can buy a physical copy on CD, and it's a lovely thing to be able to have physical music in your hands.
Exactly, and $7.99 as well. It's a steal. Oh, don't mind if I do. So yeah, that is where you've got to go and get some brilliant music to have and to hold and to love. We are the Salopian Mixtape. We are bringing you brilliant music made right here in Shropshire, and we're bringing you an artist that we've never played before, and I don't think I was aware of before they went to the salopianmixtape.com, and it is Herb Singh. They're from Telford and lived there all their lives. Singer-songwriter, currently working on a new album, so maybe a future release of the series, Michaela.
Maybe. And I mean, this tune, which I absolutely love, is a song that actually they recorded back in 2018. First attempt at recording at home, on their PC at home, and had it recorded onto tape. They've brought it to us. I absolutely love this, and we've said before on the Salopian Mixtape, there's some joy in finding an artist that you've never heard of before, never heard any music from before. So it's really, really exciting for us to go, oh, this is somebody new, because you don't know what to expect when you press play. But I can tell you can expect something that is really accomplished, fabulous songwriting, great guitars on this track as well. So this is it's new to us, isn't it? It's new music to us from Herb Singh. Yeah,
it's new to us. But it's so very, very good. And I can only applaud you, Herb, for actually going to the salopianmixtape.com to upload your music to us, because I pressed play on this and went, that was the noise that I made. I think that was roughly the same noise again. But that is the noise I made, because it's so very good, and the quality of this is so awesome. Check it out for yourself.
So that's Been So Long, Herb Singh from Telford, who's Telford all his life. I love that. I mean, when you go to send music to us at theslopemixtape.com, you can tell us fun facts about yourself. You can tell us about gigs that you've got coming up. And I can tell you that Herb gave us a fun fact, Simon Barry, and I know you love our fun facts section on this show.
I always love a fun fact. I'm a fan of fun facts.
Well, at the age of 16, his then band won a national contest, which resulted in a performance at the Royal Albert Hall.
Wow, that's so
And
cool.
It was along with a performance so they went on children's TV on a show called What's That Noise?
Oh man, that's amazing. Well, you could tell that
So I think we need to do some searching.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking on some YouTube later on tonight to check out where Herb Singh is and that, because that's super cool. And to play at the Royal Albert Hall at any stage of your life is amazing. To have done it at 16 is crazy. But if you are enjoying what Herb has been producing there, then maybe get in touch with him. Because at the moment, he's looking for musicians so he can put together a band. So if you're interested and available to chat, join forces with Herb Singh. Because, I mean, if I was any good at music, I would be joining him because he's clearly got a lot of talent. But I know there's a huge amount of musicians who are just out there and wanting to join in and enjoy the fun and joy that music brings, and help Herb out. And so you can check him out online, Herb Singh. And maybe we'll have a full band in future.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I'll tell you what else is great. You are going to hear from a prolific Shropshire artist in a few moments' time. Somebody that has been making music in Shropshire for ages and kind of like been on the scene, moved away, and then she comes back, and she comes back with more amazing music and a lot of personality to go with it as well. So you're going to hear from Heidi Browne in just a moment's time.
The Salopian Mixtape. Michaela Wild and Simon Berry.
Heidi, let's kind of go back to the beginning a little bit with you, because you've got, I have said this a couple of times, you are such a prolific songwriter. You've written more songs than, have you got a number? Do you know how many songs you've got out in the world that you've written and the songs you've recorded?
On PRS, I think there's 75 songs listed, but I know there are at least 20 others that aren't like registered yet. So I'm hoping that they don't get nicked in the meanwhile.
And you're somebody that's come from, you've got a real musical background. You're in a very musical household. Talk us through, because I mean, I've seen the music room in your family home. Yeah. And I can only imagine that on an evening when you all get together and you've got time to sit down and have a jam, it must be quite a place to spend time together and make music.
Yeah, it is brilliant having all those instruments there, but the room is also chaos, because what you've got to bear in mind is my dad's a kleptomaniac. My mum used to wonder where he'd gone, and he was always at the auction finding random things and feeling sorry for inanimate objects that didn't have homes. So as well as a gong, 2 pianos, 3 sofas, 2 drum kits, God knows what else, several keyboards in there. There are also things like a canoe mold, and like there's a couple of gold discs, no big deal. Not mine, obviously, Colin Brown's from when he was in various bands. So yeah, it's very cluttered. You go in there and you're just looking for a jack lead or something for a gig, and you're like, it's chaos. But yeah, it's also, I think a creative space tends to be a little bit of a messy one at the same time. So.
And you do performing together when you can do as well, don't you? So your dad and your brother do perform alongside you. What's that experience like?
A bit like the Osbournes more than the Osmonds, I'd say. We're all very different people. We're all musical, and we're all kind of got the sort of telepathic family. We kind of instinctively know where a song's going to go, but at the same time, there's also a little bit of a push and pull because it's a family dynamic. So it might be my song, but that doesn't mean it's going to go my way, because we've got other dynamic personalities coming in and out. So I think people find that quite funny. Me and my dad have a lot of banter on stage.
over the years as well with your musical career, you've done so much. You've performed in so many places. You've been all over the place, and I mean, you've won competitions with your songwriting as well, haven't you? What's been a particular highlight for you up to now?
Well, I would say, because a lot of the time with music, it's very up and down, and it can be a lot of real hard work to get those gigs that you want to play. But on a couple of occasions, I've just had little lucky moments where I've been invited to play somewhere. So that happened. I have no idea about how to go viral. I'm like very digitally backward, but somehow a song of mine in about, I think it's 2014, something like that, one of the songs that I'd put out kind of suddenly got 100,000 plays on SoundCloud, which isn't monetized, damn. And 100,000 plays, that was like before people were really going wild with Spotify and stuff. And then I got all these, I looked on it and they were all coming from Italy and Turkey. I got this email saying, hello, we're from such and such culture festival in Prato, which I've Googled is it's just outside Florence. And they wanted me to headline their culture festival, and they'd had a big like town meeting with the culture committee. And it was just so bizarre. Like this random town in the middle of Italy were like asking me if I would be able to come, and, oh, we can only afford this much. We'll put you up. And then when I got there, I was just a bit bewildered. And then the lady in the B&B handed me a newspaper, and it was like my face in the Roman newspaper, like a massive picture of me. And it said the new voice of Italy. Sadly, I was obviously just a flash in the pan, because I've not really done that much else in Italy since. Did one more gig. But, when you get those moments, you really do feel like music can connect across borders, across language barriers. Like, it was amazing. The gig that we played was up on a mountain with the backdrop of some ruins of an old church, and the sun was setting behind us as we were playing. It was me, Jamie Brownfield, who's a trumpet player from Welshpool area, and my dad on keys. It was just so amazing. Like, all these strangers turned up, about 200 of them, up on the top of a hill in Italy. So yeah, that was an absolute highlight. Now I'm kind of doing music full time again, which I haven't done in a while. I'm really hoping that music does take me to different countries and different places, because it's great. It's so great to meet strangers and then have that connection with them, through playing songs to them.
So what are you doing musically now?
Well, excitingly, on the 22nd of May, my new album is coming out. So that's out this week. So that's my 6th album, and I haven't released an album for like 7 years now, even though I had new songs. It's just something I kept putting off, and recording is very expensive. So it's one of those things you just got to do, and I really wanted to do it. So I've recorded an album, so that's out, and I've planned a load of tour dates around it. So now I'm doing it full time. I don't need to try and book time off work. This is my job. So I'm just trying to do as many gigs as possible. I think I've got a run of about 15 now in a row with a couple of days off. So I'm all over the country. I've got the furthest south at the moment. I'm going to try and get some in Cornwall, but the furthest south at the moment is Brighton, which I've got this Friday. And then on the 5th of July, I'm up in Inverness. So I'm just trying to fill in all the gaps in between. I haven't got a date in Manchester yet. I haven't got a date in Bristol yet, so I'm working on that. But yeah, Liverpool, got local to here. I've got Welshpool, Nantwich, Stone, Newport. So yeah, quite a few local ones as well.
And as a plug for a live Heidi Browne show as well, it isn't just about the music. I'm sure I've said this in the past as well, because you put on a show in terms of there's always a bit of chat on stage, and you get a bit of a spark of personality as well. You're not just turning up and playing and getting off stage again. You get the whole shebang, which is great, and you get a real sense of understanding the songs as well, and a bit more background around them. Speaking of which, I mean, we'll touch on, because I know the challenges. I mean, I know what it's like, the challenges of attempting to do music as a full-time job. That comes with challenges, especially in the how life is now. We'll come back to that in a minute. But I think we need to hear a tune first. So really excited to be able to play brand new music from you, Heidi. So we're going to play Dead Leaves first. Tell us a little bit about it.
So Dead Leaves is a song. So, we were talking about like unfinished songs. I started this song like 5 years ago and it only had one verse. And I nearly stuck it on the last album, but I hadn't written another verse, so it didn't go on. And then, sometimes you just forget a song. I was just noodling one night and it came back to me, and it's just taken a whole new lease of life on. And I thought, I really love this song. And when we went into the studio with it, it came to life, and it really does sound like a missing Fleetwood Mac song. I'm not trying to overblow it. It just feels, it's got that 70s feel. It's quite dry. It's got like a driving rhythm, and it's quite like empowering and exciting. And so I think it's one of my favorite tracks on the new album. And I'm so glad to have finally got it recorded. But still, it only had one verse. So I was about to do my vocal take, and I was outside the studio, and I was just on my phone, and they were like, you can come in the studio if you want. I was like, that's okay. I just got to write a quick verse. So I jotted down a verse, and it's done. So that was good. I think you need time pressure sometimes. Like in that whole 5 years, I didn't write a verse, and then had 2 minutes to go. So I knocked one up quick.
Well, let's hear it then. So this is brand new from Heidi Browne on the Salopian mixtape with Simon Berry and Michaela Wild. This is Dead Leaves.
The spell is broken here in the clear light of day. The heavens open, they wash the shadows all away. All they scatter, all they scatter, all they scatter like dead leaves. Doesn't matter, they're just old memories. Whoa, 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 A flower opens here in the misty morning haze. I'm sat here thinking the hours slipping into days. All they scatter, all they scatter, all they scatter like dead leaves. It doesn't matter, they're just older memories. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I'd never dreamed that it could ever be, that it could ever be the same. No, I'd never believe that it could ever feel, that it could ever feel this way.
That was Dead Leaves by Heidi Browne here on the Salopian mixtape with Simon Berry and Michaela Wilde. And Heidi Browne is joining us this evening. It's a wonderful time to be alive.
Isn't it?
That was a really dramatic introduction. What a
I
time to be
know.
alive.
What a time to be alive. But you've got to big up the artists that you believe in and enjoy the music of. So Heidi, thank you very much for spending some time with us. Can I just ask, like, it's a question that is a two-parter, but best gig, worst gig? I'm always interested in this one.
Worst gig. Well, I feel like my best gig might be that Italy one. So as an alternative, I'll say best gig of the last year. So best gig of last year, I played in this like ecological shop in the middle of nowhere in Belgium. Which was really cute. I'd played at a tapas bar in Welshpool. This couple were in from Belgium, and they said the little kid was drawing pictures for me. He drew like a picture of seaweed because I'd done my what's it called, seahorse song. And then the parents are like, "Oh, we should get you in our local town." 7 years later, it finally happened. So that was last year. I just got the Eurostar, thinking I have no idea where I'm going. The family said I could stay with them, so I went and stayed with them on this beautiful farm near Brussels, and they put this show on, and I wondered, is anyone even going to turn up? And again, there were like 200 people there. They all wanted to buy CDs and get them signed, and it was this like beautiful Art Deco, actually older than that, like sort of Victorian cafe. They got everything out of the way, and it was because it was like a shop in the day. They pushed all the vegetables and all the cupboards out of the way and just filled the place with chairs, and I played to this perfect like amazingly attentive audience. So that was last year in Belgium. Also last year in Luton, I had a horrendous experience at the Celtic Supporters Club. It's Celtic, isn't it? It's some kind of sport related team thing. Such a hostile environment I've never experienced. The woman came up to me. All of the women had the same haircut. And this one particular lady, let's call her Sharon for argument's sake, came up to me and she just stared at me perplexed. And she was like, "Is this all you do?" And I was just setting up. I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Just that." And I said, "What, guitar?" She goes, "Yeah, where's your backing tracks?" And to her, that wasn't music. And I played a blinder, to be honest, but the people just were nonplussed. They couldn't understand why I wouldn't have just really banging backing tracks. So that evening was actually cut short. They paid me off and they just said, just leave. And I was like very happy to, because I thought I might die in there. So
well done, Luton. I think you need to do better, Luton. If people want to find out more about you, Heidi, how do they do it?
Or go on the Googles. So my name is Heidi Browne with an E at the end. I've just this very day refreshed my website. Well, I haven't. Someone who knows about websites has. So on the website, you've got like all the links to the Spotify, and it's got all the gigs on there for the next 3 months. There's quite a lot in there. As I mentioned, I'm playing in Nantwich and Newport and Welshpool and different places. So if you do want to come to a gig, they're all on there as well. So yeah, go on the website.
Yeah.
Before we hear the second tune from you, on our website, when you head to the slopenmixtape.com, you share your music with us, and you've got the chance to kind of tell us about yourself and give us a fun fact. And I enjoy the fact that your fun fact is I can do the crab. Is that true?
Yes, honestly, I have never been great at sport, but later in life, I realised I am really good at the crab. And I'm 38 now, and I tell you what, my crab is still impressive. It's like a proper arc shape. Like I went recently on a yoga retreat, and I don't know how to do yoga, but it was a last minute thing. And I messaged them and I said, I don't really do yoga, but I could do the crab. And it got me in, and I went to Kenya. So there we go. And I've got a picture of me on some mountain on the safari doing the crab. So, late bloomer.
So doing the crab, it can help in later life. That's
Massively,
amazing.
Massively.
Can I just double check? That is the thing where you sort of go over backwards and Yeah, rather than just walking
Would
around
like
like Zoidberg.
Giving it all that.
Yeah, giving it all that. Know what I mean?
Well, I would like to point out though, because some people can do the crab from standing. No, it's not. I have to lie flat first, lie like a kipper, then put your hands behind and then push up from there.
We'll let you off. Don't worry.
It's a
I'm
crab
almost certain
position.
I don't bend that way. That's just not going to happen. That's very impressive.
Yeah,
bet
it
you
ain't going to
can
be
do that.
graceful.
I seem to remember you can throw and catch though, Michaela. So
Throwing I can do. Catching's probably not a strong one of my strongest skills. Sports
we're in
has
the arts,
never been for me.
darling. We're in the
Yeah.
arts. You're probably in orchestra on lunchtimes, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I was playing music and singing and stuff. I wasn't out doing sporting things.
No. There we go.
Oh, well, I was, but I definitely am not anymore.
You best take up the violin then, or crabbing.
I'll try either. I'll see which
You
is
could
easier.
You could take up the violin, Simon. I would say that you could borrow my folk violin book, but Heidi Browne has got that. She's had that for approximately 8 years.
I still got it and I still play it.
Do you?
I knew you were going to say that. Oh God, yeah. So I owe Michaela a was it Greatest Celtic Folk Tunes compilation compendium. She doesn't know because I've had it that long. I've also got one of your parents' CDs. I nicked up at the time, yeah.
What CD is it?
What was it now?
Anything any good?
I think it might be Fleetwood Mac.
Oh,
It's a good one. If you're going to nick one, it's a top quality.
that is a solid steal. Well done. I mean, you're welcome to. I haven't picked up my violin in quite some time, so you keep playing that folk book.
I will.
Top quality. Speaking of top quality, we've heard one tune from your new album. I think we should hear another one. And I think Simon Barry was overjoyed purely by the name of this tune before he'd even listened to it, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I would say though, as a vegan now, I don't have so many of these, but I get the thought. It's cheese dreams, and the amount of dreams that I've been having recently has been terrifying and weird. And I wish I'd written some of them down, but I think you're probably glad that I haven't, because I would then have to share them with you. And I think it was Charlie Brooker who said that the most boring thing to ever listen to is somebody else's dreams. But that's not true when it comes to Cheese Dreams by Heidi Browne. Where did this come from, Heidi?
This, so as the title suggests, it is about cheese dreams. All of these dreams, each verse is a different dream that I did dream following cheese consumption. It's actually quite an old song. I wrote it when I lived in France, and the cheese in France is next level strong. Like it will make you trip balls, cheese balls. So I used to dream these weird dreams, and then each morning I would tell my housemate what they were, and so she'd just be like, "These are so weird." She was like, "You should write these down." So I started writing them down, and then I thought, perfect song. So the verses are each a dream that I've dreamt, and they're really weird. I too am now vegan. I think it's the safest option for everyone.
Yeah, especially when dreams come into play.
Which cheese, out of interest, created the most bizarre dreams? Was there a standout cheese that was the most unsettling when it came to your nighttime dreams?
Yes, I would say Roquefort is to be avoided. The most dangerous, the most potent of cheeses.
Probably mixing that with the
Roquefort will make
absinthe
you-
wasn't a great combination either.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, absinthe with a Roquefort float.
Roquefort croutons.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah,
That
that's
sounds-
a potent recipe.
Yeah.
Don't try
Well-
this at home, kids.
No, I think we should hear it. So would you like to introduce it for us on the Salopian Mixtape, Heidi?
Certainly would. Coming up next on the Salopian Mixtape, it's Cheese Dreams by Heidi Browne.
I had a dream I was kissing a corpse, and bits of his face were just falling right off. But no, I didn't mind, 'cause I liked the look that shone inside his eyes. They say romance is dead, well clearly it is. Just look inside my head and see for yourself. There's a corpse in my bed, and I'm loving him still. I had a dream I was hiding away behind gingham curtains, not night, not quite day. And I looked out onto the street where a very tall doll was sashaying along with eyes big as bowls, and I hid from her gaze, 'cause she was an evil doll that killed people. Cheese dreams, la da 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 da, and cheese dreams. I had a dream I was riding a bike. I cycled away on it into the night, but no, I couldn't see. I crashed into a tree and I tried to get up, but my legs were jelly. I was made of confectionery, 'cause you are what you eat, and I had cake for my tea, and that was the end of me. Look at that, what you will, but I think it was just a cheese dream. Make it out what you will, but I think it was just a cheese dream. Cheese dreams, la da 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 da, cheese dreams. Had a dream in a charity shop. My sister and brother suddenly dropped through the air vent and onto the floor. I rescued them with a broom to the trapdoor. I don't know quite why they're up there in the first place. While I wake each morning and I tell my friend about all the wondrous things that I just dreamt, but I don't think that they mean that much to her. Oh hey, Mr. Freud, won't you analyze me? I'd like to know what you make of my dreams. Make of them what you will, but I think they were just cheese dreams. Make of them what you will, but I think they were just cheese dreams. Cheese dreams, la da 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 da, cheese dreams. Cheese dreams, la da 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 da, cheese dreams. Look at them what you will, but I think it was just a cheese dream.
That was Heidi Browne with Cheese Dreams here on the Salopian mixtape. And a big thank you again to Heidi for taking the time out to have a chat with us. And she's clearly very, very talented. And that song, Cheese Dreams, it makes me think of all of the weird dreams that I've had. And I'm not even going to go into it, but if you are enjoying what you're hearing, go and check her out online. And while you're at it, if you are making music or you know somebody that is making music, point yourself or them in the direction of thesalopianmixtape.com to upload your music. Send it to us. We listen to everything, and the general rules are if we like it, we play it. Them's the rules, and we stick to them. So send it in right now.
And somebody that did send us music, but not only did they send us music, I mean, he is the voice of this podcast, because you hear him at the start of the podcast, at various points in the middle and at the end as well. The fabulous Ease, the artist, who is from Shrewsbury. In fact, he lives so close to me that if I went outside now, because I'm at home right now, if I went out the back door and kicked a football with, a decent amount of velocity, it could land in his garden, is what I'm going to say.
Oh, we still haven't thrown anything at
his house. I don't know.
We said we were going to do that.
Yeah, we will at some. If the weather's really good, and if we see him putting things on Instagram of like barbecuing and stuff, and we'll reconvene in the back garden and just start launching things. See if he notices.
You saying wait until the weather's good? Apples going rotten in the sun.
Apple trees in the garden. Although I don't think he's going to appreciate us throwing apples at his garden. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
No, we don't want to injure anyone. A paper plane or two might happen, but only with complimentary messages of his fabulous music. He's the artist, has been making music for ages, and it hasn't always just knocked us sideways with his talent and his ability to bring real clarity to his lyrics, to bring real force behind the music that he's making, to transcend into different genres as well. He can be he can have quite an aggressive tone when it's necessary, but also bring this like beautiful lightness to his voice, which I think as a rapper is a particularly difficult skill to master. He's got such a brilliant sound and a great personality to go with it as well, which I think really comes across in his music. He's doing brilliantly as well for himself. We've mentioned this a few times on the show that he's been signed to Position Music. He's had stuff go on to adverts. He's had music will have been heard by potentially millions of people on advertising campaigns, and we don't doubt it's going to get even better for him. And we love this tune, don't we?
Absolutely, and you can feel his influences coming through on this as well, because you press play on it and go, this guy loves his rap. You can pick out each of his influences in this, but he does it in a way that isn't it's not just cut and paste from the past. It is genuine influences, because he makes it his own. So this then is a brand new track from Ease the Artist. It's called Better Than Me.
I'm confident, the stone been shifted, that paddle pull lift them. The combination album conflicted, cause man have been switching between that screw face and mandible clicking as it's slamming back off your chest. A mechanic it different, the caliber, sound rattle the speaker, and I keep feeling I've been killing the features since I figured it's ether. It's been written in diesel, that vision is regal since I pen meet the page. Sun sealed and evil, give him a breather, nah. And I just tighten that sleeper, took my time to reach the peak, now I ain't leaving, it's that reaper flow, looking like it's deeper, hole to bury him. Sleep cold, perishing to the speaker blow. Lift the dust till settle it. Heard before irrelevant. Here like it's meant to be synergy with that beat, like Luke, you saying it. Proof is in that pudding. And all I have is sweet dreams. I'm saying please don't make me 16. I said please. Na, 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 na. You think you better than me? Na, 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 na. You think you better than me? Na, 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 na. You think you better than me? And ain't no place for you ever compete ever to me. Na, 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 na. You think you better than me? Na, na, na. I'm in my zone, touchdown, the second I hear it. You get that note, then compound, you can't get near it. Ain't no comfort zone around here, the whoop be buzzing, settling down to luxury. I just keep cutting, it's just me summit, that kick I get to keep me stomping. The heat I speak, the beat just leave them humming. It's that hunting season, but the difference is it just keeps running. I lay the soul on the beat like it's Stevie Wonder. The theme is cutting, that chords I hear, just feed me summer. Battery top up, fully charged to keep me gunning. The product lethal, a little bit beneath the gumming. I'm stunting on this, no double, this is that one and only. Drop it, want it hard, you gotta probably phone me. And I've been at this ages, I drop the weight around the waist to lift off shoulders. The pen in the holster, the notes are road, pick your way to get folded the coldest. You best believe that it's over. Na 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 na, you think you better than me? Na 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 na, you think you better than me? Na 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 na, you think you better than me? And ain't no place for you ever compete ever to me. Na 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 na, you think you better than me? Na 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 na, you think you better than me? This is a low mixture. Michaela and Simon. For you ever compete, better believe.
That was Ease the Artist and his new track Better Than Me. So very good, and like I say, all of the influences that he has sort of shine through on that track. He just delivers it with such brilliance that anything that He's the Artist produces now, I'm an instant fan of. So, well done. If you want to find out more about him, seek him out online. He's the Artist. Go and check out all of his back catalogue on Spotify and what have you, so you can become a proper fan of He's the Artist, because honestly, you should be, because it is incredibly good. And he's from Shrewsbury. He's a Salopian. So what's not to love?
And, well, he's the voice of this podcast.
The Salopian Mixtape with Michaela Wild and Simon Berry.
Right, you're listening to the Salopian Mixtape. I'm Michaela Wild. I'm joined by, of course, Mr. Simon Berry, and we're going to play music for you now from an artist who, in our former music appreciation roles in life that we did before we did this podcast, we used to enjoy...
In the other place. The other place. We won't refer to it by name, but it's the other place.
In the other. We played a lot of music from this artist. It's the first time they've sent any music to the podcast, and I'm so pleased that they have, because every time I used to see this name, it filled me full of so much joy. We absolutely loved everything he used to send to us. So I'm really pleased that Steve Carey has brought music to the Salopian Mixtape. He is from Albrighton, and he was sending music back in like 2018 in the other place. And he says he just adores music, and we love his music. And I really, really liked this when I pressed play on it a couple of days ago. It's a fabulous tune, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And what I love about Steve's music is that it's just so honest. Like, in every respect, it's honest, good music. And you can't help but be drawn in and appreciate everything that he's doing. And I've got a real soft spot for Steve Carey, and I hope that you will too after listening to this. This is Alice's Eyes Part 2 by Steve Carey.
She's had dreams held on so tight, saw them drift away from outer sight, heard the wisdom come from the wise. So the story will start when you look in Alice's eyes. She's been alone and been entertained, fell in love with Mr. What's his name, heard his promises and his lies. Now the truth will unfold when you look in Alice's eyes. Little red monkey, Ebony Jane, Howard the Snowman, caught in the rain. She's been moved and been seen to cry, looked at herself just to wonder why. Gifts have come to her in every size, but no greater the gift she'll see than in Alice's eyes. marching tin soldiers, ribbons and curls, my little rag doll for my little girl. Shook up herself when she tasted fear, heard a voice whisper in her ear, feel a touch, hear her cries. You will find all the love you need is in Alice's eyes. Is in Alice's eyes.
So that was Steve Carey and Alice's Eyes Part 2. This is the blues version. And I absolutely love this. I think there's just something about Steve Carey. It's his approach to making music. There's something about his voice as well that just, I don't know. Do you know, I'm going to say something, Simon.
Okay.
I know everyone believes different things and, you know, whatever, but you know how some people have like auras around them and you just get this kind of like sense of positivity when you meet certain people. Some people can see like colours around the edge of people and stuff. They say, oh, there's, you know, lots of schools of thought on these things, but I am a true believer that sometimes you meet people and some people emit really positive energy. And I feel like Steve Carey, there is something about him and the music that he creates, because every time I've ever listened to anything he's ever made, it's always made me feel like happy and warm, and there's just something about him and something about what he does. I just think he must just have this wonderful like energy around him, and his music, I think it's fabulous.
I think I would wholeheartedly agree with that. I would say that his music is like a nice little cuddle when you need a cuddle. Just like a little bit of an embrace, just to say it's okay, everything's all right. And that's what I hear and feel when I listen to Steve Carey's music. And I hope you do too. If you are enjoying his music, seek him out online, Steve Carey. And if you are making music as well and you want to try and give us a cuddle, go to thesalopianmixtape.com and upload your music there as well.
Don't try and give us an actual cuddle though, because
No.
I'm weird about personal space.
Yeah, like you're terrified of actually touching anybody.
Don't actually try to cuddle me, but with your music, you can.
Yeah, and we have boundary issues. Don't approach us.
Well, you can approach us, but just don't cuddle us. This conversation's gone down a really strange.
There is a point where you should stop. Is what my point is.
I think our point to stop is right now. But wait a minute, we've got another tune for you. And all our artists have got some things in common. They're all linked to Shropshire, based in Shropshire, making music in Shropshire. They're making fabulous music, might I add, because the rules are if you send music to us and we like it, whatever it is. And the joy of this podcast and the reason that we do this podcast is to celebrate all genres of music, because Simon and I have got such eclectic tastes in music and an appreciation of all genres. So even if it wouldn't be music that would be our go-to genre, if we can hear it's good, we will still want to share it, because we just love talking about music that is brilliant. And if you are making music and you've got those things in common, that it's good and it's Shropshire linked, then go to thesalopianmixtape.com. Send your music to us. It's really simple to send your music to us. It's really simple to tell us more about you. And this next artist hasn't told us a great deal, but luckily we have heard a lot of music from this artist before. So we know a limited amount to be able to tell you about this artist. And I'm so pleased that we're playing music from Tidy, who is a house producer from Telford, because I've been loving Tidy's music for a long time, a good few years now. And I think we've seen a huge progression in his music as well. I feel like, you know, month on month, year on year, his tunes just get so much better. The production value on them is just incredible.
Yeah, I think when we first started listening to him, it was great already, because we're like, this is really good. I want to listen to this more. But then you can hear the progression over the years of just expanding that production value throughout and making everything just that sort of bit more crystal clear, if that makes sense. But it just, like, every single time we hear music from Tidy, it just feels like it's getting better and better and better. So I'm going to say that, you know, 5 years time, it'll be, if it progresses the same way, it's just going to be the kind of music that makes your brain explode.
Dance music of the gods is what I'm going to say there. That's what it's going to be, dance music of the gods. And you know what?
I mean, that's probably safer than brain exploding.
Yeah, and a lot less messy. It's been nice, hasn't it, recently? The weather's been all right. And if ever you wanted a dance producer to make music to just crank the sunshine up even more, DJ Tidy is the one to do it for you. So this is You and I by Tidy.
We go back to you and I. We go back. We go back to you and I. You and I. You and I. Since there's no more you and I'll keep wishing you were here by my side. Hanging on to every word you said that night. Thinking you could change your mind. We go back to you and I. We go back to you and I. You and I. You and I. Since there's no more you and I'll keep wishing you were here by my side. Hanging on to every word you said that night. Thinking you could change your mind. We go back to you and I. 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 We go back. We go back to you and I. You and I. You and I.
That was You and I by Tidy, and that was Tidy Stuff from Telford. Tidy is a house producer making brilliant music, and I only wish that it would continue sending in more, which is something that you can do if you go to thesalopianmixtape.com and click on the upload your music button, because that is how we listen to the music and we feature it here on this podcast.
Huge thank you to Heidi Browne for joining us and having a bit of a chat. Really enjoyed hearing more from her, and so excited she's got new music out. It's brilliant to hear her music come back, and you can catch her touring fairly locally as well. Have a look out for her, Heidi Browne with an E on the end. Just put her into your search engine. You'll be able to find her, and there's a full list of where she's going to be performing and how you can get hold of her music. We might even treat you to another tune from her next week if you're lucky. And whilst I'm talking next week, we're going to be catching up with somebody who is putting on some amazing live gigs locally, all as part of Live in the House. next week. I'm really looking forward to this because they use so many quirky venues to transform into pop-up live arenas, is what I'm going to call it, for just beautifully intimate gigs. And really looking forward to talking more about that next week.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are not yet subscribed to this and you are aching for next week's podcast, then please subscribe.
Do it.
You can subscribe wherever you are currently listening to this. There will be a new one next week. So hit subscribe and you'll know as soon as the next one is dropped. And thank you if you've been listening to this on Shropshire Live. It is a wonderful space to be able to share brilliant music from Shropshire.
Also next week, you will hear another track from our local release of the series from the fabulous Adele and Andy from Market Drayton. And just remind you, if you did hear their tune at the start of the episode and you're thinking, where on earth can I get hold of this, physically get hold of it? We can tell you for certain that you can get hold of it at either Spinning Around Records in Wellington or at Tubeway 2 in Bridgnorth. You can pop in, get hold of a CD, and they're a bargain, aren't they, Simon?
They're a bargain. They're only $7.99, and both Emma in Wellington and Alex in Bridgnorth are lovely people, so just stop and have a chat with them anyway. Go and have a browse, because it's a lovely place, a lovely environment, both of those places, if you are into your music. And you can pick up the local release of the season from the Salopian Mixtape.
The Salopian Mixtape with Simon Berry and Michaela Wilde. Bringing you Shropshire's best new music. You can get your music heard at thesalopianmixtape.com.